Look at the shore in Homer's Odyssey. The coast of the Sirens is not paved with gold, it's paved with bones. We are taught that the Sirens are temptresses offering lust or pleasure. We think Odysseus is fighting desire, but we are wrong, and because we are wrong, we misunderstand the nature of our own souls. The Sirens do not offer lies. They do not offer illusion. Circe warns Odysseus explicitly. They sing the truth. They offer the total account of all things, the war, the wandering, the divine intention behind every tragedy. They offer gnosis, total knowledge. So, why are these bones on the shore? Because truth received by a soul that is not bound to the axis is fatal. In Homer's Odyssey Decoded, the text is approached not as mythology, but as sacred architecture. Following the tradition of Plato and Proclus, who read Homer as the supreme theological text, this work decodes the initiation protocols hidden within the epic. Today we examine the most dangerous threshold in the human journey, the song at the center of the world. To survive the encounter with higher knowledge, Odysseus employs a protocol of terrifying precision. This is not magic, it is engineering. First, the crew. He takes beeswax softened by the heat of his own hands and plugs their ears. Why? The crew represents the lower faculties of the soul, the instincts, the appetites, the untrained mind. If they hear the song, they will abandon their duty. They will crash the ship. This is the lesson of protective ignorance. Not every part of you is ready for the divine. Your body, your habits, your ego, they must be shielded from truths they cannot digest. Do not force initiation on the unready parts of yourself. Use the wax. Then Odysseus turns to himself. He orders his men to bind him to the mast. He gives them a command that defies all military logic. If I beg you to release me, if I order you to untie me, ignore me. Tie more rope. Think about the psychology here. Odysseus knows that when he hears a song, his conscious mind will scream for destruction. He creates a contract between the higher self, the architect who plans, and his lower self, the warrior who feels. The mast is not just wood. In Pythagorean and Platonic terms, the mast is the Axis Mundi. It is the vertical connection between the earth and the heavens. To hear the song and live, you must be fixed to the vertical. You must be aligned with the divine order before you open your ears to the chaos of the world. This is the architecture of the soul decoded. And then the song begins. Homer writes that the Sirens call out to him by name. They do not seduce him with beauty, they seduce him with omniscience. Come closer, glorious Odysseus, they sing, for we know all things that happened in wide Troy, and all things that happened upon the fertile earth. They offer him the answer to the question that has haunted him for 20 years. Why? Why did the war happen? Why did his friends die? What is the divine pattern behind the suffering? This is the trap of the intellect. The soul craves to know the grand design. It wants to see the blueprint of the universe. But as Plato and Proclus understood, the material world is a shadow. To stare directly at the sun of the truth without preparation is to go blind, or worse, to go mad. Odysseus strains against the ropes. He signals his men to turn the ship toward the island. He's weeping. He's desperate. He wants the knowledge more than he wants his life. But the ropes hold. The men row, and he's forced to do the hardest thing a human being can do. He listens to the truth, but he does not act on it. He witnesses the divine without attaching to it. He accepts that he is small and the pattern is vast, and that he is not meant to possess the whole picture, only to navigate his part of it. This is a decoding. The sirens represent divine knowledge, but the unprepared soul cannot receive it without destruction. When the ship passes and the song fades, Odysseus does not celebrate. He stands trembling. Later, in the halls of the Phaeacians, he tells the story of the Cyclops, of Circe, of the underworld, but notice this. He never describes the content of the song. He cannot. True initiation is ineffable. It leaves no data behind. It reorganizes the soul like silt setting after a flood, changing the ground you stand on, but leaving no words to describe the change. We are all Odysseus. We are sailing through a world of noise, seeking meaning, tempted by the promise that if we just knew everything, we would be safe. But the bones on the shore tell us otherwise. Following the Platonic tradition, Homer's Odyssey Decoded reveals that you must bind yourself to your mast, your discipline, your practice, your vertical alignment with the good. You must plug the ears of your lower nature, and you must have the courage to hear the song, to feel the pull of the infinite, and yet keep your hands on the oars, rowing toward your Ithaca. The song is true, but the mast is stronger. Homer's Odyssey Decoded follows the ancient path of Plato and Proclus, reading the epic not as adventure, but as sacred text, a manual for the soul's ascent.